If you've ever had a s'more, a cheesecake, or a key lime pie, you probably can recall how sinfully decadent these treats are. But ironically, one of their key ingredients, the graham cracker, was actually invented for the purpose of eradicating decadence and sin from American households, and was a staple food for followers of a reform movement / quasi-cult in the 19th century called Grahamism. The followers were called Grahamites. This is the most wild discovery. See, there was this guy named Sylvester Graham. He was originally a Presbyterian minister, but he was quite the eccentric fellow and developed his own unique views on, well, pretty much everything. Theology, diet, lifestyle, patriotism, and especially bread. More on that in a second. He preached that people should eat and live closer to the way Adam and Eve did in the Garden of Eden. Food should be plant-based and as unprocessed as possible, which actually made him one of the first major voices of vegetarianism in America. Except his take was that foods like meat, dairy, uneven refined flour, coffee, tea, and spices all caused impure thoughts that led people to partake in, shall we say, personal lustful behaviors. Curse me for getting curious about the history of graham crackers. I mean, we couldn't have chosen something safe, like a war or massacre or something. At the heart of Reverend Graham's unique vegetarian / temperance message was bread. This man was not happy with the state of bread in America. It was contributing to people's damnation. And to his credit, this was a time when bread often had all kinds of toxic fillers. So Graham experimented with making coarsely ground whole wheat flour, which became known as graham flour, from which he also invented graham bread and graham crackers. He published a book called A Treatise on Bread and Bread Making, and he makes many assertions, including that bread should only be made uncommercially by wives and mothers, because, get this, he viewed them as the only ones with enough love and moral sensibility to be trusted to make bread properly, which was vital to the health and moral fabric of society. No pressure, ladies. His ideas were so radical, it nearly started a baker's riot in Boston. Y'all don't mess with the commercial bakers of Boston. You calling them morally unfit to bake? Pal, they got the butchers on their side. Nonetheless, Grahamism became a full-blown movement. Boarding houses were established for Grahamites to live in, where along with eating graham bread and crackers, they also slept on rock-hard mattresses and took frequent cold baths because warm baths were too stimulating. Someone, please, send the Boston butchers my way. Now, in a sad, ironic turn of events, Graham ended up keeling over at only 57 due to questionable health issues, which was a bad look for the movement. And so, Grahamism was pretty much forgotten, all except for that little cracker, which became a national staple thanks to the National Biscuit Company, now known as Nabisco, who started mass-producing that more familiar, tender, sweetened version of graham crackers in 1898. And fun fact, the original boxes were red, and they still are today. I'm a strong believer that everything has a story, but man, if there ever was an example. I don't know about you, but I will never look at a s'more the same way again.